please.
Okay. Commissioner Dreer,
Here.
Commissioner Ferguson,
Here.
Commissioner Preston,
Here.
Commissioner Weir,
Here.
Commissioner Michelle,
Here.
and Chairman McLean.
Here. Is Heather not here today?
No, she was going to be gone today.
Okay, for the convenience of those participating in tonight's meeting, I would like to remind all in attendance, both commissioners and the public, to please mute yourself when you are not speaking to prevent distraction and unwanted disruption. Staff will be enforcing this and monitoring those in attendance for questions during public hearings. During the public hearing portion of the meeting, staff will call on those who have requested to speak in the order that they signed up. Following that, anyone else who wishes to speak will be recognized. For those who wish to speak tonight, please remember to address all comments and questions to the chair and to keep your comments brief and on point. If you agree with the previous comment, simply indicate your agreement. To expedite tonight's meeting, I'll ask those who wish to testify or believe they might like to be sworn in. Do we have anybody to swear in? Seeing none, I guess
we have John West.
Okay, all right. So if
Okay.
John will raise his hand, his right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the whole truth before this commission? If so, please answer, I do.
I do.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that, we'll begin the meeting with the first case, which is case number 20-400-07, short-term rental permit for 1201 West Walnut Street. Request approval of short-term rental. So staff, if you'll give us a report, please.
John and Taddy West intend to operate a short-term rental at their second home located at 1201 West Walnut Street. They will live there 3 or 4 months out of the year, but would like to rent the house to visitors during the remainder of the year while residing in Fredonia, Arizona. The property manager, Tammy Fife, will operate and maintain the property in their absence. So here is the first slide. Shows the vicinity of the property there where Lexington takes the dive down toward Chrysler, crossing Walnut, that southwest corner of the intersection there. Here's the surrounding zonings. You've got C2 located along good parts of the Lexington corridor, as well as single-family zoning and even multifamily zoning. Here's an aerial photograph of the actual property. You can see there's single-family residences to the north and northeast, and to the south and to the west. There's what is now used as an office building, that prominent funeral home that's there at the corner there by the RLDS auditorium. The applicants believe their historic Queen-style home will appeal to those visiting the area's religious historical sites and the Truman Library. The applicants will advertise their property via vbro.com, airbnb.com, and homeaway.com. So answering our 3 questions that we always go over when we're looking at a short-term rental application. How does the owner plan to limit the number of guests for each stay? Well, the applicant's letter indicates that the 3,700 square foot home has 4 bedrooms, including 2 of those as master suites, and 5 bathrooms. Thus, it could accommodate 10 guests, but would not exceed 8 adults as our code limits. The booking agents will inform the prospective guests of the occupancy limit. The second question, how the owner, how will they handle parking if more than 1 vehicle arrives per bedroom? The booking websites will provide information on the number of parking spaces available. Off-street parking, while legal along Walnut and Lexington, is not advisable. Between the 2-car garage and the driveway, I had noted there are 6 spaces actually. That's not feasible. It's more like 4, 2 in the garage, 2 in the paved area, which covers the minimum amount required for 4 bedrooms. And that would keep vehicles off that back alley as well as out of the public right-of-ways. The third question, how the owner plans to address loud, unruly guests or complaints from the neighbors. The applicants will have cameras in the common areas, so the local property manager will be able to respond to disturbances promptly. If unable to resolve the issue with guests, of course, there's always turning to the police department. So, the site has been inspected by our fire department and has been inspected for the requirements of building inspection division as well. The applicants state that they will provide the required safety items as outlined in section 14.425A of the UDO. And the applicants indicate that the trash collection will be provided to the property by Ted's Trash Service. So these are the homes on the south side of Walnut, a little bit west of this property down the street. This is looking across the street to the northwest. This is a street that tees in right to the west of Walnut and Lexington. And this is that house that lies directly to the north, adjacent to the intersection. This is looking off the alley, and this is the garage. As you can see, there's room for 2 cars in the garage and 2 that can be parked in the paved surfaces, providing the 4 necessary parking spaces. This is looking, you can see the garage over here on the right, so we're looking sort of southwest. This is where the house faces, or the side of the house that faces Walnut. There. And then this is the intersection looking northeast, across Walnut toward or across Lexington toward the auditorium. Here's what the former funeral home across the street to the east. And then this is the Lexington side of the house. Staff recommends approval of the short-term rental subject to the following conditions. The short-term rental shall obtain a business license in accordance with the city code and comply with Article 3, Chapter 5 of the city code. Occupation license numbers shall be listed on all advertisements and on online platforms. The business must apply with all safety and other standards established by Section 14420 of the City Code. The house can accommodate 6 guests, but may not have more than 8 adults. While the applicants are in residence, the home shall not be rented as a short-term rental. And no customer cars will be parked along the streets in front of the home. And that concludes my report, and I'm ready to take any questions you may have.
Commissioners, do you have any questions? The staff? Okay, would the applicant like to come and add anything more to the report?
No, I think he did a fabulous job. Thank you.
Do the commissioners have any questions for the applicant? Actually, can you please state your name and address? I'm sorry, I totally forgot that.
John West,
And the address you reside?
would you like the 1201 West Walnut? Oh, reside.
Correct.
It's HC 65, box 456, Fredonia, Arizona.
Thank you. All right,
Madam
commissioners, do
Chair.
you have any questions? Yes.
One question. First, I want to thank the applicant for coming forward to operate a fully licensed business entity. And I take it that he concurs with the stipulations, the 5 stipulations as offered by staff. Is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. The only concern I have is you're out of town, but you do have a property manager, Ms. Tammy Fife, I take it. Is
Correct.
Ms. Tammy Fife a property manager professionally, or what is her credentials relative to being a property manager?
Yeah, I don't know exactly if I could say that she's a professional, but she's done cleaning for the last 10 years of professional businesses. And so our family lived there for the last 2 months, and we sought references to find somebody that we knew would do a good enough job cleaning and that would be professional enough to help guests if they can't find the property or if they need help with things. So I have other vacation rentals in Utah, and so in some ways I'm heavily involved as the property manager, but she is the one that's just a few blocks away when I need something there local, and she helps me correspond with the guests because I pay her to handle things like how things work or how to arrive to the property or things like that.
Okay. And you're confident that you recognize that the license is for 1 year and it's contingent upon, of course, being a good neighbor.
Yeah, and what was really nice is we got to know all of our neighbors while we were there. Our kids made best friends with some of the neighbors, and so we got to have dinner with a few of them and participate in the 4th of July. So we felt really good about our neighborhood.
Excellent. No further questions, Madam.
And I would just kind of throw out, Tammy quit a full-time job, or she was working part-time, but it was her primary profession, and I've put her on a salary. So I believe that was important to make sure she, even if I didn't get quite a few bookings right away, that she felt confident enough to leave her prior employer.
Excellent. And the staff have a phone number for Ms. Fife.
Yes, I do, and I've already actually had conversation with her.
Excellent. Then I close. No further questions, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Anybody else have any questions for the applicant?
Yes, Mr. West. Did you purchase this property for this specific reason?
Yeah, yes. We wanted to, we've been looking at property for about 5 years, and I do insurance. And so I wanted to have a second home in Missouri, and we disclosed that. And I sell insurance, and so I have a Missouri insurance license. So I want to frequent often, and I won't always bring my kids, but like in the summer months, we'll bring our kids with when we come. But during winter months, there'll be weekends that my wife and I just come as we're slowly building our insurance business. Because in the long run, it might eventually become our primary residence.
I see. Do you use Airbnb a lot?
On I have 2 tiny homes that I rent out in Utah, and I run 100% occupancy. And I use Airbnb only with them. But where this is a larger home, I was planning on using VRBO as my primary, where they're a little more specific towards larger vacation rentals.
I see. And what would something like this rent for?
I'm starting at 190 a night, but I'd like to eventually get up to 250 to 350 a night.
It's a nice, this looks like a good place for this. This home was moved in there on this piece of property, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it has all new electrical, all new plumbing, a brand new roof. All the interior has been redone. It had a pipe break last year, and so they have new hardwood floors. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's a gorgeous property. I think more money's gone into remodeling it than it sold for. It's significant more money.
Thank you very much. Anyone else? I just had one question. Tammy's fairly close to the property, correct? And that's who, like, if somebody's really loud or the neighbors just hear something that they kind of worry about, Tammy will be on call.
Yes, and she'll be there in between every visitor to clean the property. In fact, in the basement, I have a staff-only room that she has access to. It's a really good setup for her. But yeah, she's on 23rd Terrace, so she's just within 5 minutes, 3 to 5 minutes away.
Perfect, thank you. All right.
Madam Chair.
Yes, sir.
And I did hire a backup if Tammy's not available, but that's just on an as needed basis. A lady named Terry Martinez that also lives really close, that knows Tammy real well.
Perfect, thank you so much.
Madam Chair,
Mr. Preston.
in the matter of case number 20-400-07, short-term rental permit at 1201 West Walnut Street, I move for approval with the stipulations as stated, 5 stipulations as stated by staff.
Billy's moved. Is there a second?
I second.
Who was that? Sorry.
Paul Michelle.
Paul was the second. All right, City, will you call roll, please?
Commissioner Dreer,
Yes.
Commissioner Ferguson,
Yes.
Commissioner Preston,
Yes.
Commissioner Weir,
Yes.
Commissioner Michelle,
Yes.
and Chairman McLean.
Yes. The case number 20-400-07, short-term rental permit for 1201 West Walnut Street has passed. Thank you very much and good luck. It sounds like a great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. We've enjoyed our time in Independence. Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Does staff have any closing remarks before we close the meeting? Is there anything roundtable?
I think you just have approval of the minutes are the only other thing on there.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'll remember these things. Okay, does anybody you all have a chance to read the minutes and look through it? Are there any changes, corrections? I didn't see anything, but we good? All right,
We're good.
we're good.
Right. And staff has nothing else, so.
Okay. Well, I wish you all a really good week, rest of the week, and a good weekend.
Thank you, Cindy.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Right.
See you.